Meow. This fearless caddis is the raddest, has skills of the baddest, magic,
Slinging busting
no
guns.
status, practically unmatched, runs all of the gamut, in fact,
He's a reference
games
guy.
and chatting, bent wizardly hatting, questing, stacking, napping, this,
Can't diversify.
witty banter, seeking kitty answers, roll 20 to scamper, tune in,
And enjoy the ride.
Brainy, the RPG cat. Brainy, the RPG cat.
Brainy the cat. Brainy the RPG cat. It's a kitty cat.
No audio. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so let's start all over again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Brainy the RPG Cat. Hello, cats and kittens, felines and felidae, humans and variant humans, and every race, class, and subclass. So there we are. I was just getting a little bit more things set up at the very last minute, so don't mind me. Tonight we're going to be doing Cardcatter Brainy. And we've got a lot of stuff that we can look over. First, we have some booster packs for One Piece. We talked about booster packs from One Piece, a little while ago. And so we finally have, a second series of One Piece cards. They're called Pillars of Strength. we have 2 booster packs of that, and then 1 of the regular booster packs. Goldfish Gurney says, let's open some packs. Heck yeah. So I'm sure that you get just as much a charge out of TCG games as I do. And so we have this. This is a starter pack for Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is part of a universal game system called Weeb Schwartz. And so in a little while we'll look it up, and we'll try to figure out how to play the game, and then just look for the cards in the starter pack. And then finally, this is the brass ring. This is the crowning achievement. We have some Lord of the Rings, some Tales of Middle Earth. This is a this is a gift edition box. So I think it just comes with a certain amount of booster packs, and then just a couple of bonuses. Most likely, there's going to be a new D20 counter in here, and we'll look through all of that, and then we'll look through 2 more booster packs after that. So this is Cardcatter Brainy. So obviously, we love TCG cards in this community, and I have, for a very long time, I've been laboring over the fact that I buy these cards. I've never had an opportunity to plug the store that I usually buy all these cards from, but that has been fixed. So now I can very proudly say that this stream is brought to you by All Seas Collectibles. All Seas Collectibles is a great store out of Aurora that does buy wholesale TCGs and just any amount of collectibles, ranging in every way and everything, from coins, currency, anything that can be collectible. You can trade with All Seas Collectibles. And so I've been told that, out of everything that they want to plug, that they want to plug the Facebook page. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in. See, All Seas Collectibles. All right. So pretty soon, we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up chat commands for that. And then, that'll just be a regular part of our advertising scroll. So, thank you very much, All Seas Collectibles, for giving me the opportunity in order to do the sponsorship. There are definitely where I get all of these awesome cards from. So there's been a little bit of, my usual plugs going on in the scroll right now. Please consider giving a donation to the Trevor Project. We're in the middle of a donathon that's going to last for the rest of the month. For every $20, I'm going to eat a bamboozled bean on stream, and this is a good stream to do that, because I actually do have a live cam going, so you can actually see me ingest the terrible thing. All right, so thank you everybody for tuning in, and let's go ahead and let's get started with our unboxing stream. So let me see, where do I want to start here? Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and let's open the One Piece cards. We have the fewest of the One Piece cards. They have become a little bit more available than they were when the card set was released by Namco Bandai Games, and it's become incredibly popular as a as an actual play card series. Is that regularly we have people come into the gaming center at All Seas, and they'll play tournaments for One Piece, but regrettably, the cards are still a little bit more scarce than they typically are. For a very long period of time, there haven't been any rare single cards put on sale for One Piece. I'd say there's still probably 100 magic cards to every single One Piece card that is sold, and that is regardless of whether or not it is common or whether or not it is rare. So let's go ahead and let's start looking through this. All right, so let's go ahead and open the first pack. So, actually, let's take a moment. Let's open up one more pack of Romance Dawn. Romance Dawn was the first series released in English in the United States. And then we have two other packs that come from a separate set that's called Pillars of Strength. So let's go ahead and let's look through these. All right. Hang on a second. Namco Bandai is nice enough to provide just this little slit right here that you can use in order to open the packs with. Otherwise, it would probably be too tough to do it. Okay, so with every set of One Piece cards, you do get the Dawn card. The Dawn card is basically the currency that you use in order to do stronger and stronger moves. This would be the equivalent to manga. We have one piece of gum, chewing gum. Unfortunately, no. I think that people aren't cool enough for that anymore, and I think people are also scared that's going to ruin the playing cards. So it was convoluted, but I'm proud of it. Go ahead and plastic wrap it. You don't want to ingest any gum that comes in old card packs these days. Okay, so. This is a, this is a character card. This is Hirozumi Higurashi. This is a Kabuki man. I believe he has the power of fire. Let me see. A special ability reads, after your opponent declares an attack, you may rest this card to make it the target of the attack. So you just kind of have the ability to put this card ahead of any other pirates that are attacking in a turn. And also, this is the land of Waro and Kurozumi clan. So sometimes decks come in the forms of, themes, and the themes come in the form of, specific pirate bands. So, Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD? No, just regular Kabuki Man from the greater area of Tokyo. All right, so... This is 3,000 card. This is a full art card. This is called Kawamatsu. He is affiliated with Fishman, Lord of Waro, the Ayakaiza 9. His trigger is that you play this card. So you have the ability to cast him as a reaction. Is that, even though I've gone over the rules of this in the previous episode, I haven't actually played a game of this yet, so... I'm not entirely sure about, how to describe how the deck strategy works when it comes to One Piece. All right, so this is Speed. This is a trigger. Yeah, you got the ability to play the card. From the Animal Kingdom Pilot Smile, the purple set that was in the original starter decks that first came out. And, well... I mean, you just take one look at the card art on this, and you know what you're immediately attracted to. Those great, big, round, supple, shiny red apple that the little girl is holding. All right. So this is 4,000 points card. Bellamy. From the Dressrosa clan. It can be cast as a counter card worth 1,000 points. Okay. Fukurokuju, 8,000 point card, also with a counter. Affiliated with the Land of Waro, Animal Kingdom Pirates, and clearly he is a squiddy man. He is a man, based on a squid. And so we're getting a lot of profile cards, I thought that one thing that was really slick about the One Piece sets was that they are based on art that was originally taken from the manga, but then it was colorized afterwards. And so this is one of the effect cards. You should be my samurai. I would rather have you all. Affiliated with the Land of Wario Koizuki clan. And then allows you to rest two of your characters and draw two cards. Alright. Bartolomeo, a part of the Supernovas Borrow Club. But because it's a red card, you can still play it along with the Straw Hat Pirates deck. Blocker card, after your opponent declares an attack, you can rest this card to make it the new target of the attack. And then Dawn ×2, and on your opponent's turn, this character can be boosted by 3,000 power. Alright. I remember being really impressed with the card art the first time you did these cards, and I still am. Yeah. I mean, it also helps that this is the exact same set. This still comes from the exact same series that the starter decks did. Alright. So, this is Komurasaki from the Land of Wario Koizuki clan. You can rest the specified number of Dawn cards in your area. If your leader is a Koizuki Odin, set one of your land or Waro type character cards with a cost of 3 or less to activate, or a counter for 1,000. Alright. So, let's see, what else do we have here? We have, Brooke, a Straw Hat Pirates character, of course. 5,000 points, counter 1,000. And when attacking, you can give up to 2 of your opponent's characters 2,000 power during the turn. Alright. This is a really striking card. This is 3,000 points. Mr. 3 Galdino from the Baroque Works clan. On a play, if your leader has a Baroque Works type, select up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. The selected character cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Okay, so now we're getting to the reverse hollow and the hollow. Okay, so this is Oikiku, part of the Land of Oro, the Ayakaza 9. When Dawn ×1, when attacking once per turn, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Alright, and then here's the full hollow card. 5,000 Black Maria, and counter of 1,000, and one of the Animal Kingdom pirates. So, as a blocker, if your opponent declares an attack, you may rest this card and make it the one target of the attack. Or on a block, you can return a specified number of Dawn cards from your field to your Dawn deck. This character gains 1,000 power during this turn. Alright, so that's the first set of Romance Dawn. Pack of Romance Dawn one-piece cards. Alright, so this is the first Pillar of Strength. So this is the first card that is in the new series. And so, knowing that, there's only been one series out so far, we know that everything there is probably cross-compatible with the series that have already been released. So through Pillars of Strength, this is where things are going to get wacky. This is when we're going to start to see expansions in the expansion pack vast enough in order to pretty significantly change a deck and then, just allow people to create a deck meta. So let's go ahead, let's give this one an open. Alright. So, once again, here's another Dawn card. On the back of these, they have an advertisement for a tutorial app now available for download in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. But, tutorial apps are fun and they are useful, but, I still just kind of hoping for an online version of this game sometime in the future. Okay, Curiel, member of the Whitebeard Pirates, 4,000 with a counter of 1,000. This character cannot attack at the leader. This character cannot attack a leader card on the turn in which it's played. Dawn +1, this character will gain Rush, which means a card cannot attack on the turn in which it is played, and then counter of 1,000. Okay, Helmeppo from the Navy. Probably, the first and what can probably persist in being the most hated a nemesis of Luffy in the very first part of the manga. Alright, so Helmeppo, a Navy member, set the cost of up to one of your opponent's characters with no base effect to 0 during this turn, and a counter of 1,000. Alright. Yosaku and Johnny from the East Blue group. 3,000 points. With a Dawn, you can have 20 or less. If you have 20 or less cards remaining in your deck, this character gains plus 2,000 power. Alright. So, Minorosaurus. 5,000 points, level 3. On a KO, if your leader has the Impel Down type, you can draw 2 cards and then trash 1 card from your hand. And this is from Impel Down, Jailer Beast, but as a purple card, it is compatible with the Animal Kingdom deck. Okay, Nero, affiliated with the CP9 clan, HP 5,000, counter 1,000. This is another effect card out of the bag. Main, if you can rest an East Blue type or set up to one of your Kuro cards as an active card. Trigger, on a trigger KO, one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 3 or less. And also a member of the East Blue and Black Cat Pirates. Alright. Usopp's Pirate Crew. Basically just 3 youngsters that, started to idolize Usopp. 0 cost, counter of 1,000. On a play, add up to 1 basic blue Usopp from your trash to your hand. Alright. Audio. 5,000 points. Card affiliated with the Odyssey clan. When attacking, your opponents cannot activate a blocker character that has 2,000 or less power during this battle, and counter of 1,000. And, let's see, this is, Sanji's Pilaf. It's better than I deserve, certain it is. I thought I was a goner, I thought I was a dead man for sure. This is, allows you to draw 2 cards during your main phase. Okay, this is a leader card, and this one is Nami. So you have the opportunity in order to play Nami as your main character in an East Blue deck. When your deck is reduced to 0, you win the game instead of losing, according to the rules. And then a Dawn times 1. When the leader's attack deals damage to your opponent, you can trash 1 card from the top of the deck. So this would basically be part of a just a strategy where your goal would be in order to delete all of the cards in your deck. If you delete all of the cards in your deck and Nami is your leader, you actually become the winner of the duel. Okay, this is a full foil. This one is Kokoro, 2,000, counter of 1,000 from the Merfolk Water 7 clan. Look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Water 7 type card other than Kuroko, and then add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Alright. And so this is also a full foil card. This one is Django. Cost of 6,000. On a play, choose 1, set one of your East Blue type leader or character cards with a cost of 6 or less as active. Or then rest this character, and then up to one of your opponent's characters. Alright. So, here is the final pack of One Piece. Alright. Alright. I almost got it up. Alright. So this is Charlotte Galette of the Big Mom Pirates. Big Mom Pirates is actually a new set. It's got its own deck color. And so this one is just kind of yellow color coded, and so it's compatible with all the cards that they are in the yellow deck. Counter of 1,000. As a blocker, your opponent declares an attack. You may rest this card to make it the new target of the attack. Okay. So Kumadori, labeled as a CPU, 6,000 HP with a counter of 1,000. Okay. Pearl, member of the East Blue or the Creek Pirates. As a blocker, after your opponent declares an attack, you may rest this card to make this a new target of the attack. Okay. Mino Zebra, once again, just another animal card that is also compatible with the Animal Kingdom. 5,000 cards, counter of 1,000. Banish, when this card deals damage, the target card is trashed without activating its trigger. Or on a KO, if your leader has the Impel Down type, add up to 1 Dawn card from your card deck and then rest it. Okay, Soap Sheep. Effectively a disguise used by covering yourself with soap suds and then trying to walk away pretending to be a sheep. On main phase, give 2 of your opponent's characters -2 cost during this turn, and a trigger, your opponent will trash 1 card from their hand. Okay, Momu, 4,000 point card, counter of 1,000, an animal that's actually part of the East Blue set, instead of the Animal Kingdom set for the first time. Alright. King Bomb, 5,000 HP. Part of the Big Mom Pirate set again. Trigger, you can trash this card from the top or the bottom of your life cards and then play it. Another Big Mom card, this is Napoleon. Napoleon, 300 point card, counter of 1,000. Activating your main phase, you can rest this character up to 1 of your Charlotte Linoline cards, gains +100 power. So it works with a specific alternate card. Hachan, 4,000 point card, part of the Fishman, East Blue, and Arlong Pirates clan. If your leader has the East Blue character type, then you can draw this card. Okay. Wazi, CP7 clan, 4,000 points. You can trash 1 card from your hand if your leader's attack includes CP. KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less. Okay, this is the first full foil card. This is Kaya, East Blue clan, 0 points, counter of 2,000. On a play, draw 2 cards and then trash 2 cards from your hand. Okay, this is a very, very striking leader card, I believe. No, it's still a character card, but it is a very awesome looking full foil card. 7,000 points, Krieg of the East Blue and Krieg Pirates. On a play, you can trash a card from your hand, KO up to 2 of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 4 or less. Or then with a Dawn 1, this character gains double attack, and it also deals 2 damage. And well, of course, this is the Dawn token. I just didn't take it out this time. All right. So all in all, you know, really good set of really good looking cards. And so now that the tournaments are really, really heating up, you know, I do want to see if I can find an opportunity to find some time to go over to the gaming arena and try to see if I can put together a good tournament deck. The other thing I'm probably going to need to do is I'm going to want to see if I can buy a small long box specifically for the cards, so that I can carry some extra cards with me and use them to experiment and play decks. So that's pretty cool. All of that is pretty cool. All right. So something I think I neglected to mention is that instead of, in addition to the fact that I am streaming both on Twitch and also on the Livespace Veda, I am streaming unnecessarily extrally on YouTube. So yeah, this is running live on YouTube. You know, I'm just using the multi-stream. It's just fun to see how far I can actually take this, figure out, you know, specifically, you know, how far this could potentially go. But at any rate, you know, that's just really something that I should have brought up. So, okay, so the next set we're going to look at Avatar: The Last Airbender. So this is a part of a universal game system. And as regrettable as it is to say that, you know, I don't know anything about the universal game system. So we are going to do the appropriate thing, and we are going to Google. We'll try to see if we can find something that will teach us how to play the basic version of Avatar: The Last Airbender for a card game. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go to window capture again. Full screen that. Okay, so now we're going to go over to, let's see. I'm just going to type in a general Google search. How to play Avatar: The Last Airbender TCG. All right. Let me see. Opening up a sealed Avatar: The Last Airbender trading card game. Okay, so the Avatar: The Last Airbender trading card game is played between two people, each of whom controls his or her own playmat. The playmat has 3 zones where, as the game progresses, each player comes to place his or her card. Each player chooses his or her chamber card before the game begins. So that's the start of it. All right. Originally released. Okay, well, yeah, we're just getting the facts here. Produced by Upper Deck and released in February 2006. This is a lot older than I thought it was. I just assumed that, things, tend to generally come out. Things are coming out of the Avatar franchise like gangbusters these days. New proposals for movies, new proposals for television shows, you name it. But this is a much older set. This originally came from 2006. In the game, the character takes on the role of one of the main or secondary characters from Avatar: The Last Bender and duels another player in a match testing strength and abilities determined by the game's cards. The overall objective is to earn 3 points before the opposing player. They can be gained when opponents have no further actions available to them. This game is part of the Quick Strike system of trading card game, which means it's compatible with various other card games from different areas of media and fiction. The original launch is titled Master of Elements, has a spread of 235 cards, including 55 common cards, 55 uncommon cards, 55 rare cards, and 70 Xenementals. These cards are further categorized as Strike, Ally, Advantage, or Chamber, all of which differ in usage or effect. Since the initial release, multiple promotional cards and other additional cards have been released, some of which come within the DVD collection. Burger King also released 8 promo cards, which were sold with kids' meals between August 28th and December 30th of 2006. Okay. History. The Avatar trading card game was idealized long before the show began to air on television. Upon the success of the series pilot, Avatar: The Last Airbender was picked up for an order of 13. Okay, well, that's just kind of the history of the television show. In February 2036, 2 years after the TCG program began, the Master of Elements starter sets finally went on the market. Joan Grasso, an executive in the toy department of Paramount's Consumer Products at the time of the release, cited that Avatar has emerged as one of the most popular new shows for kids today, with a deeply loyal following and growing fan base that's been clamoring for Avatar merchandise ever since the show debuted. The TCG having been one of the answers to such a high demand. The Avatar: The Last Airbender Master of Elements official rulebook is the compilation of all the TCG's guidelines and introductory overview. Played between 2 people, each of who controls his or her own playmat. The playmat has 3 zones where, as the game progresses, each player comes to place his or her cards. Each player chooses his or her chamber card before the game begins. The chamber card, alternatively simply called the chamber, is the player's character representation in the game, and the plot of the game makes it so the characters on the chamber are battling each other, while the other card types bring some of the characters' abilities, allies, or skills. Chamber also has a double-sided card hidden within it, called the Chamber's signature move. Of the 3 zones on the playmat, the green zone contains the chamber card, the yellow zone, the deck, and the red zone on the discard pile. There are other card types besides the chamber cards: Strike, Advantage, and Ally. Strike cards will usually make up the bulk of a player's deck. They are frontline components of any game containing offensive and defensive values called Force and Intercept that determine the viability of the card to stand against another strike card. For example, a strike with an intercept value of 3 does not have enough defensive capabilities to stand against an opposing strike with a force value of 5, so it'd be defeated if attacked by the opposing strike. A strike defeated by an opposing player's strike is placed in the discard pile or focused into the energy of the zone which it lost. The advantage card has the ability to aid the player who draws it in predetermined ways based on its ability, outlined in the respective card's description. An ally card represents a character from the series who comes in to assist a chamber character. The zone in which an ally is played becomes known by the name of that ally, e.g. Saka Zone if the Saka ally card is played. Otherwise, the enemies also have advantage cards. Throughout the game, cards are flipped onto the playmat by the mat's owner from the deck. Depending on the card type, the flipped card goes into a designated area of a respective zone. A strike remains the flip here area of the zone after being flipped from the deck. An ally is moved to the ally area of the zone, and an advantage is moved into the advantage area, only of which can be turned on a single playmat. Okay, well, let's skip ahead a little bit. How to play. At the game of any game begins with each player shuffling his or her deck without including the chamber card in the deck. There are 2 playmats, once per player, that are placed on a level surface in a fashion so that top one mat overlaps with the other mat, enough so that it becomes only one advantage area per player. The chamber card with the image of an avatar character adorning the front represents the character who the player will act as during the game and has placed that symbol side up on the chamber area of the playmat. The deck is placed in the titular space as well, so it ends up looking like this. You have ally cards and then cards that you can flip face down from the green zone onto the left-hand side of the board, which is the play area. So, instead, that's kind of sets up a situation where instead of, drawing cards, you are effectively flipping cards from the underside to the top to the middle of the playing field in order to activate them, and that's an interesting mechanic right there. That's a little bit different than what you would typically expect. Okay, so the Quick Strike system of gameplay, which was mentioned earlier, is a system used for Avatar TCG, does not have the players hold a hand of cards for which they choose to put into play. Instead, they flip cards from the top of their deck. Since the deck of cards is presented in a face-down position, the player does not know what cards he or she will flip over onto the playing mat. The areas onto which the player flips the cards are marked flipped here. Both players should be able to see any flipped card. There is no concealment from the opposite player in concern to cards that have been flipped. Once it has been flipped onto the green area of the mat, the player should take care to examine which card he or she has flipped. It may be a strike card. A strike card consists of 2 vital to understand values, an intercept number and a force number. The intercept number is a measure of the defensive strength of the card. A high intercept number means strong defense against an enemy attack, and a low number means a weak and possibly vulnerable defense stat. Oftentimes, a lower intercept number is balanced by a higher force number, which means a measure of the offensive strength of the card. A force number works in the same way that an intercept number does. High means strong offense, low means weak offense. As mentioned before, visible in the first image of this subsection, it has 3 colored zones. Each zone represents a chance for the player to put a stop to an opponent's strike card, otherwise known as an opponent's strike, and the zone color represents a level of danger. An opponent's attack into the green zone is not extremely troublesome or unsafe for the player being attacked. An opponent's attack in the yellow zone is a bit more risky. An attack into the red zone is very unsafe and dangerous. All this is because the green zone is the player's first line of defense, the yellow zone is the second, and the red zone is the last. If any player runs out of zones, which means he has had each zone attacked, without being able to stop any of the strikes, then the opposite player will score a single point. In order to stop an opponent's strike, the player being attacked must flip 1 card with a higher intercept number than the attacking card's force number. If the card force has been flipped does not have a higher intercept value than the attacking force value, the attacking player strikes down the card, which was in the green zone, bringing the defeated player into the yellow zone. If this happens in the yellow and red zones as well, the opponent has broken the player's defenses and scored a point. If either player earns 3 points, the game is won. So, effectively, so they are talking about, just the use of a set of cards that can be played in one zone or another. This knuckle sandwich card would be played either in the green zone as an attack, a yellow zone as a defense. And in the event that it overpowers the card that was flipped by the opponent, then that is going to be bumped to a lower zone. If the card is bumped all the way past the red zone, then the card is considered to be knocked out, and you score 1 duel point. And the object of the entire game is to score three of those knockout points. So, payment powers, optional abilities, available only in cards designated with an arrow symbol. Payment powers are capable of supplying additional perks to a card that may make the game turn in favor of the player that chooses to enact them. Payment powers must always be paid, and for the effect may thus be used as many times as the player chooses. In the case of a strike card, the cost of a payment power must be covered before the overall sidebar costs. There are certain stipulations for using payment powers in the cases of some cards. For example, sometimes a payment power cost is not paid for in energy, but the intercept value of the card. One must be careful in considering the use, because if this power is paid for enough so that the intercept of the card is not high enough, the strike becomes able to counterattack. Furthermore, a strike's intercept is not allowed to be lowered beyond 0 through repayment of the cost through payment powers. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward when it comes to attacks. We'll see, just how well this plays out. Something else I'm just looking for in this wiki value is, what was the cross compatibility like? Keywords, caveats of formal play, rarity. All Avatar trading cards are marked with a certain number of specially covered diamonds that designate their rarity. Single black diamonds are common, 2 white diamonds denote uncommon, and 3 yellow commons are rare. Additionally, there are foil treated sentimental cards, which is another name for the aforementioned exclusive cards that are deemed ultra rare. Okay. There's a glossary. Let me see. Okay, they don't have, cross compatibility. They just have a couple of trivia denotations. Okay, so all right, so let's go. So now that we have a basic idea about how the game is played, we can probably take a look at this card deck, and then we can just kind of define the rest of it for ourselves. All right. So I know quite about it myself. I see. So these cards can theoretically be played against those of other RPs. Yeah, but regrettably, I don't know what those RPs are. And it's also that this is an old set, which means that this Weeb Schwartz game system is probably something that's just not currently being played. Every once in a while, there is, an attempt at making a universal card system. And, and so it's played out just as long as cards have existed. Just an attempt by a single company in order to put several licensed properties together into a game that is going to be a lot more universal, but, there has not been one that still kind of remains in this one. I mean, unless you were to count all of the sub-licenses that Magic the Gathering has been getting lately. So Magic the Gathering has the advantage of, it's a system that everybody can play. So, if they just create one that is based on Dungeons & Dragons or Lord of the Rings or Warhammer or My Little Pony or Transformers or Godzilla, then, everybody already knows how to play Magic, so that's a good use of a universalized card system. I think right now, there is a universal card system. I don't know specifically what the system is called, but it is, once again, it has a Street Fighter license. The Street Fighter license has been part of, I think, about 2 or 3 different TCGs in the past. And all of those were an attempt at a universal system. All right, so I'll bring the music back up here. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's open up this box. So right now is that I flipped this over to the back because I want to look to see if there was a copyright system on it. This box actually says copyright 2023 Viacom International. So after having read that, all this took place in 2006, it's interesting to see that this actually might be a new set of it. So, and it has English edition printed right here on this box. So I don't know, maybe this has persisted in other countries, something like that. Avatar is clearly an American property. Maybe it's popular in a place like the UK, Western Europe, something like that, and they've still been promoting this. There's a section here that says visit us at english.ws.tcg.com. Bushiro Ad International Pte Ltd. So search me where it comes, where the origin of this, and search me why they still seem to be manufacturing this, even though everybody has said the card set has been defunct since 2006. This is just we came in this wanting to review a starter deck. We have found ourselves just waiting in mystery. Alright, so this is some of the additional material that is included in the game. This is an instruction book. And so basically, kind of shows rule sheet, zoning, specific details of the cards, what the staging area is. Bushiroad is a Japanese entertainment company that produced CC and TCG, publishes mobile apps and games, and other miscellaneous venture. Oh, okay. So that does explain things a little bit. After you have done that, they're the company that acquired New Japan Pro Wrestling. So this is kind of a universalized gaming property right now. That's what I'm gathering from that. I don't suppose where you might have looked that up also kind of told you what else is in the Universal Game System. Alright. Google, Wikipedia. Oh, well, you want me to do more Google? I don't know if the people watching want me to do more Google. Thank you very much for tuning in, Queen Vampiress. Thank you for tuning into the stream. Yeah, we know that you have a choice when it comes to felines who endlessly ramble about rules of tabletop games, and we're glad that you chose us. All right, so this is the so this is the battle board. All right, so let me see. I'm just going to pull up my camera so this is a little bit more visible. Okay, so I gotta move aside the Lord of the Rings cards so that that's more visible. Oh, it's not Weeb, it's Weiss. Okay, so just as they said, there is a front and center row. There is a backstage. There is a clock. There is a deck. Actually, no. You know what? This is different. It's still being published by the same company, but I think, they're using slightly different rules here. 3 cards in the front that are in center stage, 2 cards in the front that are in the back, and then 6 cards that count down from 6 points. 3 level areas, a post to place a climax deck, a memory, and a waiting room in a stock. So, I 100% know that I've seen this game system from somewhere. Yeah. Curiouser and curiouser. Okay. Avatar: The Last Airbender. This Trial Deck Plus is a pre-constructed deck, made only with cards from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Features of the Trial Deck. The Trial Deck is a pre-constructed deck made only with cards of Aang, his friends, and his rivals. The main cards of this deck, Aang, the boy trapped in ice, Zuko, Agent Kai, Sokka, ship steering, and Aang, Avatar state. Trial deck plus exclusive cards. Sokka ship steering. Let me see. Fury of the Ocean Spirit. Prepare for level 1 by swapping cards in your hands or using the Brainstorm abilities. Win battles with attacker characters and get into level 2. Use the Climax combo and get an advancement of position in the game. And at level 3, continue using level 3 characters with high souls to deal damage to your opponent. You can also play the card Katara Protecting Aang, which has the ability to put the top card of your deck into your waiting room. Okay, at level 3, continue using level 3 characters with high souls to deal damage to your opponent. You can also play Katara Protecting Aang. Okay, well, I already read that sentence. Okay, so card lists. Very lovely picture of the main 5 on the back end of this. Booster Pack Avatar the Airbender available June 16th, 2023 on sale. Well, that means that the booster packs have been released only just a couple of days ago. I haven't seen them in the shop yet. I mean, I certainly have seen the starter decks. So when I moved everything over, I knocked something over. Oh, well. Yeah, I think I just dropped a booster pack on the floor. I'll pick that up in a minute. Alright. So here are the actual cards. It looks like the game system you hard looked up before was an unrelated Quick Strike TCG system set from Upper Deck. Whereas this set from Bush Road is new. Yeah, that's the thing, is that I'm probably going to have to look up better rules than I actually did. I'm going to have to type 2013 into that search. Okay, so let me make a little bit more of an adjustment to the camera again. Okay, so take a look at these cards. All right, Aang and Zuko, Unexpected Cooperation. Okay, so this has got very tiny text in it. Let's see. If there is a marker underneath this card, card gains plus 300 power. Plus 3,000 power. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is an event or a World of Avatar character, place it face down, whereas this card as a marker. Otherwise, return it to its original place. Okay. Second full foil card. Aang, the Boy Trapped in Ice. World of Avatar, Air Nomads. I believe that this is the main character card, but I'm having a hard time, telling that whether or not it is, or whether it is this Aang and Air Nomad team up card. Is one of those cards. Let's see. If all your characters are World of Avatars, this card gets 1,000 power. Put one card from your hand into the waiting room. When this card is picked on the stage from your hand, you can pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to one World of Avatar character. Reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Okay, Zuko Trapped in a Cave. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, you can put the top 3 cards from your deck into your waiting room. Bond Aang Trapped in a Cage. When this card is played and placed on the stage from your hand, you can play the cost. If you do, choose one Aang Trapped in a Cave in your waiting room, and then return it to your hand. Alright. Okay, there's 2 of those. Let's see. Aang and Zuko, Unexpected Cooperation. If there's a marker underneath this card, it gets 3,000 power. When it's placed on the stage from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If this card is an event or a World of Avatar character, you can pull it down. So this is basically the same as the full art card we saw before. So, other than the full art cards, I can clearly see that, the art is just basically screenshots from the television show. Let's see. this card gets plus 500 power for each of your other World of Avatar characters. Aang trapped in the cave. There's 3 of those. Well, make that 4. Zuko Agni Kai. This card cannot side attack. Accelerate, pull 1 World of Avatar character from your waiting room from the bottom of your deck. At the beginning of your climax, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top card of your deck. Put it at the top of your deck into the waiting room, and then this card gets the following ability until the end of the turn. Alright. Hero Stern Warning. When you use the card backup, if you have a World of Avatar character, choose one of your characters in battle, and that character gets 1,000 power until the end of the turn. Okay, there's 1, 2 of those. Alright. Hero, the Fatherly Figure. Assist all the characters from this card. Get X power. X is equal to the character's level times 5,000. There are 2 of those. Okay. Admiral Zhao, Killing of the Moon Spirit. This card gets 5,000 power for each character in your opponent's backstage. Or then Encore, put a World of Avatar character from your hand into the waiting room. Alright, there's 2 of those cards. Okay, there's some side art cards. Stuck in a Blizzard. All of your characters get 1,000 power and 1 soul. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Alright. Alright, so... Katara's New Necklace. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is an event or a World of Avatar character, put it into your hand. Choose 1 card in your hand and then put it in your waiting room. Otherwise, choose 1 card in your hand and put it into your waiting room. There's 2 of those. Sokka is Ship Steering. During your turn, all your other World of Warcraft characters get 500 power. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Katara and Sokka siblings. If your character level is 2 or higher, this card gets the following ability. Put 1 card from your hand into your waiting room, and then put this card into your waiting room. Choose up to 1 Aang Avatar state in your hand and put it in the stage position the card that was in. Okay, I see that. Whoa there, double raid. Was it? I say I spent so much time reading. I didn't see you guys walk in. All right, thank you very much. It Takes All Grinds for tuning in to tonight's stream. Oh, thank you, Devin, for putting up the notification. It Takes All Grinds, great YouTuber, plays a great variety of fantasy-based games, survival games. Yeah, just a good medieval streamer like us, and has always been a really good a fan and supporter of the channel. All right, so thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing your audience with us. So this is Brainy the RPG Cat. We're simul streaming right now on YouTube Live Space and the beta. Well, YouTube Live Space and Twitch. So thank you everybody for tuning in so far. You guys have been a terrific audience. Say, Craw the Crow. Oh, Craw the Crow. Thank you for coming in, Craw the Crow. Last seen playing 7 Days to Die. And I've seen that survival game before, but I can't put my finger on it at the moment. If you want to chime in and let me know which one that one was. So I pray you're all having a wonderful day. I pray you're all having a wonderful day too, and thank you very much for rating the stream. Okay, let's see, where was I? Oh yes, okay. So this was Katara and Sokka siblings. So there were 3 cards in this set. Aang the Boy Trapped in Ice. Once again, we saw the first version of this card. This one is just kind of the slightly more subdued common version of the same card. Yui the Moon Spirit, I will always be with you. When your climax is placed with your climax area, choose one of your characters, and that character gets +1 soul until the end of the turn. Okay, there are 2 of those. Alright. So Jet and Freedom Fighters. Jet and the Freedom Fighters. So it's a 5,500 point card, but it regrettably, it doesn't have any special abilities. There are 4 of those. Alright. My first girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy. Sokka's first love. During your turn, this card gets plus 1,000 power for each of your other World of Avatars characters. You know, you had a mention that very, very intense and dramatic moment in the stream, but that seems to be what a significant amount of this deck is composed of. There are 2 of those cards. Alright. Aang in Avatar State. It is his Avatar Spirit, he must have triggered it. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, search your deck for 1 World of Avatar character, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. I didn't know Avatar Aang to actually want to be playing the teamwork card, but there you have it. Let's see. Katara's Protection of Aang. If you now have 2 or more other World of Avatar characters, this character gets 500 power from the following ability. At the beginning of the opponent's attack phase, you may pay the cost if you do choose this card and one of your World of Avatar characters and exchange them. Alright. Another Katara's Necklace. Once again, you know, there's one with art of Katara on it, but then this is just a necklace. 1, 2. Another side view card. This one is Fury of the Ocean Spirit. All your characters get 1,000 power and 1 soul. Alright, and then there are 3 of those cards. Alright. So, Zuko Agni Kai. This card cannot side attack. Accelerate, put 1 avatar character from your waiting room to the bottom of your clock. At the beginning of your character's phase, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top card of your deck. Put it on the top of your deck onto your waiting room, and then this card gets the following ability until... Wow. So, you know, everything just kind of tends to go off in 1 or 2 phases. Not counting the clock phase. A clock phase actually might be another kind of phase. So, another Katara protecting Aang. I don't know why these cards are in different places than together with the other sets. And so this is another Fury of the Ocean Spirit. And finally, this is another Avatar State. So, we're going to be getting to unboxing the Collector's Edition set of Lord of the Rings in just a moment. But before we do, I probably just not going to be able to let this go. I'm going to need to take a moment and figure out specifically what this brand new version of the Avatar card game is supposed to play. So let's try this again. So Avatar: The Last Airbender card game 2023. All right. Okay. This is an article on it. Maybe I should put this up. Okay. Okay, so Weiss Schwartz Avatar: The Last Airbender deets revealed. A trial deck, a booster pack, and a supply set. Bushiroad has announced details for an expansion to the Weiss Schwartz trading card game based on the popular Avatar: The Last Airbender series, which will street on June 16th. The new set will appear in trial deck and booster pack formats and will be supported with accessories. The set was originally revealed in July. Well, that was July of last year. The Weiss Schwartz Avatar: The Last Airbender trial deck will introduce Aang and Friends of the card game with 50 cards intended for use with other cards in the Airbender series. The deck will have a total of 19 different card types with 6 parallels. They'll include 2 shiny cards in each deck. A number of random decks will also feature 1 of 3 special rare cards with special embossing or special rare with embossing and a unique hot stamp. In addition to the cards, the trial deck comes with a rule sheet, playmat, and deck manual. The cards included in each deck are the same. Games will be sold in 6 deck display boxes. Additional cards will be available in Weiss Schwartz Avatar: The Last Airbender booster packs. Okay, well, Tournament registered retail stores can also get special tournament store assistant PR packs with the purchase of a booster pack display. It contains 2 of 10 possible PR cards with a total of 5 standard and 5 foil parallel designs. Well, this is all very interesting, but it's not actually helping us to figure out, what the rules of the new game is. I don't know how new a TCG can possibly be, but, this one seems to be so new that, it really doesn't even have the community support yet. So, there's a card list right here. Total amount of cards in the 2023 set. Trial deck, booster pack available, The Last Airbender. I think that's this is a sales pitch. Water, Earth, Fire, Four Nation. Okay. The World of Avatar descends on the Y. Schwartz stage, master the elements, and bring peace to the stage. Adding The Last Airbender. Okay. Master of all elements, town letters, crossroads for out. So they're going over main deck cards in this section. So this was the previous set. This was the one that they were discussing before from the Quick Strike set. That has the Upper Deck logo on the bottom of it. Well, I don't know what else to say. Is that I'm a little bit. They've got me kind of in a box here. The situation appears to be that the Avatar game is just so new that I really can't even pull information of it, not even on Google. The Weiss Schwartz system is explained on its Wikipedia page. It's a pretty old system. They don't seem to have been pulling new cards from it. Let me try that. Okay, Weiss Schwartz System TCG. I don't even know what to Google anymore. Okay, so I'm starting to see some interesting properties here. I'm seeing Adventure Time. I'm seeing the Seven Deadly Sins, and I'm seeing, well, just another couple of very specific animes. Let me pull this one up. Okay, so this is Weiss Schwartz, a character trading card game for the next generation. There are over 10,000 different Weiss Schwartz cards available, and these split into 3 types of cards: characters, events, and climaxes. Relive climactic scenes from your favorite anime, manga, or video titles once more on your stage. I guess Avatar and Adventure Time are now being considered to be anime. Fill your decks with your favorite characters and let them shine on stage. They're essential as they serve as a primary source of damage against opponents. Event cards allow you to rewrite the story, turn the tides of battle with these instant play cards. Event cards pack useful effects such as character retrievals, healing effects, and even burn damage. There's a card here of Jake playing Card Wars, and I know for a fact that there used to actually be physical Card Wars sets. Just a game that, was based on the fictional game that Jake would play on Adventure Time. Climax cards relieve climactic scenes, let the curtains fall on stage. They're a distinctive feature of Weiss Schwartz to help increase your damage, gather resources, or even save you in a pinch. You can make your own decks out of favorite titles, that even though there are many different titles, the rules are the same for everyone. Enjoy the game with your favorite titles or mix them up if you choose. The world is your oyster. So you just have the ability to mishmash every single property that they own together. Learn the basics of the games in 6 minutes. Start with a trial deck with your favorite title. They contain everything you need to start and can be upgraded with additional booster packs. Not sure to find your products? Check out shop listings and learn the rules in depth with the quick manual. Alright, so let's see, let's take a look at products. Spy X Family, Guilty Gear Strive, Iforetta from Commonplace to the World's Strongest. That's got to be just about the most obscure anime title I've ever read. Azure Lane. So they must sell in multiple different markets where some animes are more popular than other ones. Review Straight the Music, Azure Lane Royal, Nazarick, Tomb of the Undead, Hololive. They have... Oh, wow. They have Hololive decks. They have decks based on Hololive. Okay. So that's interesting. They just have decks based on Japanese VTubers. So search me when it comes to that. Yeah. Avatar, Quintessential Quintuplets, lots and lots of anime properties, and not all of them actually shonen anime properties, which is really interesting to me. The Fruit of Grisalia, Live a Live, Bang Dreamgirls Band, The Seven Deadly Sins, I already mentioned that. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Saiken no How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend, Attack on Titan, Tokyo Revengers, Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Yeah, Hololive. Hololive, that one continues to baffle me. Oh, you know what? It occurs to me, okay, so, yeah, Hololive is actually not composed of VTubers. Hololive is actually an anime based on characters that are very similar to VTubers. That's why it's capable of being licensed. Data Bullet, Rent a Girlfriend, Classy, RWBY. So I think we reached the trifecta of Western animation that is really, really popular among the anime set. We have Adventure Time, we have Avatar, we have I just read it. I don't know why I'm spacing on. We have RWBY. So, it's not just anime, but things that are just kind of really popular with approximately the same audience. Okay, Sword Art Online. That one doesn't surprise me. The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Kaguya-sama Love is War. Bofuri, I still don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. And Magica Record, Quilla, Magi, Madoka, Magica Side Story. Data Live, yeah, more Madoka Magica, then Mob Psycho 100, Adventure Time, Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World. I mean, so that's really just a good one to pick up. Nazarick, Tomb of the Undead, Trial Deck Bang Dream, Trial Deck Fujimi Fantasia, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, more Sword Art Online. Goblin Slayer. Fate Stay Night. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Batman Ninja. Batman Ninja, I think, was just a very specific manga series that was published through DC Comics. It has its own set in here. Review Straight, Review Starlight. And it's interesting that they'll be able to get the license because that's a Warner Brothers license. SAO Alternate, I guess, well, maybe if they were able to get Adventure Time, then that's not so surprising. SAO Alternative Gun, Booster Pack No Game No Life, Cardcatter Sakura. This, wow, that one surprises me. Cardcatter Sakura is probably one of the oldest examples of a TCG property. They actually have Cardcatter Sakura cards in their game engine. That's like a Chad move, as far as I'm concerned. That's like, oh, we can do this hard. We're going to be releasing the card game based on the card game, Cardcatter Sakura. ReZero, yeah, more Konosuba, Bang Dream Girls, Fate Apocrypha. You know, certainly a lot of anime a series that I've heard of, but not anime series that I've actually watched. There's a Gurren Lagann set. Attack on Titan. Yeah, more Konosuba. Excel World. Sword Art Online. Boy, am I falling down a Google rabbit hole here. I had thought that, you know, this was going to end at 15 pages. Let me just jump to the last page. They have 19 listings total. Last few ones that I see is that Disgaea, Madoka Magica, Sword Art Online, Fate Zero. Yeah, there's a lot of this. Okay, so let's take a look at the rules. Basic rules on how to play the game. All right. Okay, yeah, quick manual, same manual that I physically got, but in PDF format. Well, you know, the thing is, I can probably see why, you know, this is kind of, the meta of all this is still continues to perplex me, because this is a company that does an enormous amount of licensing. There's an enormous glut of this card system out here, but it's also the fact that barely anybody knows how to play it, you know. I still anticipate whether or not our shop is going to pick it up. But even if it does, you know, we might just be limited to the avatar cards. You know, there's so much more as opposed to, you know, being in that way limited. That's really all I can say about it at this point. Let's see. The term anime applies to all cartoons. It's just short for animation. Yeah. Bushiroad is a huge company. They can get pretty much anything. They're probably the people who are broadcasting all of these anime on a network in Japan. And that's probably another reason why they're so universal. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get to the main event. Because let me see. I think we're like an hour and 30 minutes into this stream. We'll probably finish in 2.5 hours. Once again, you know, if you came in during the last two raids, through It Takes All Grinds and through, Craw the Crow, thank you very much for having stayed tuned up into this point. So, we're going to stop playing around, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you the creme de la creme. We're going to show you the Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings set. Alright. Just had to take a half second to pull back that booster pack that I took off of the floor. Okay, so I can stand to raise the camera up here just a little bit. Alright. So, roughly about here. Okay. So here we are. 2 draft booster packs. And it's more than likely there's going to be multiple draft booster packs inside of the box, but this is a collector's edition. So this was relatively expensive. Usually a collector's box is something in the neighborhood of $60. This one was $99.99, and you know, I'm surprised I was able to get it for this price, because I'm pretty sure that it is more than double and tripled on, you know, some other websites. You know, Lord of the Rings has been so popular, it has actually bumped down the overall sales value of standard Magic the Gathering cards. You know, and that's really all I can say about that. Okay, the gift edition is a perfect present for fans of Magic the Gathering and Lord of the Rings. This box is jam-packed with goodies, including a collector's booster filled with special cards. Sure to bring a smile to any fan, especially if that fan is you. 20 traditional cards and 20 regular basic lands. 12 cards, Tales of the Middle-earth set boosters. So between that and then the 2 boosters that we have, that's going to be 14 packs. 4 alt art traditional foil borderless Mount Doom scene cards. And a special oversized gift edition spin down life counter. And a special Lord of the Rings Tales of the Earth card box. So we've seen specialty card boxes on this site before. It's precisely going to be that, but with Lord of the Rings art upon it. So, you know, we're pulling off a little strip here so that we'd be able to open the box from the side. All right. And out comes the gift box, first of all. So this does have, you know, the famous J.R.R. Tolkien Falconers, the ones who are known for carrying Frodo and Sam the rest of the way to Mount Doom. And, you know, tonight's stream, we're going to get to see, you know, how much Lord of the Rings lore I can actually pull from the top of my head. It should be fun. All right. So as Lord of the Rings, Tales from Middle-earth, there's a wraparound of the Falcon on there. Let me see, it's just a little bit more of a volcano top on the side. So let's go ahead, let's open this up. Okay, just slide this one out of the back. Alright, so start to see, you know, just some of the bonus material that they get in this. This is another heavy cardboard wraparound. I've shown you these things before as well. Okay, so Gandalf the White as a separator card. 7 ring tokens on this side. You know, some extra superfluous tokens on the other side. There's another Falcon separator card right there. You know, +1/+1 counters. Just the standard kinds of things that they put into pop-out materials in Lord of the Rings. And so, let's see, as if I can reach into the box from this side. The other half of the box, you know, doesn't have anything in it. It's all hollow except for the counter die. And so this counter die is especially pretty. It's made out of it's kind of a burgundy color, but also has really, really nice stylized numbers on it. So this is the number 18, you know, followed by a 4-circle pattern. And so I believe the one ring is actually the natural 20 on this one. I'll count out cards. I'll count down dies. Actually, always have special art on the 20 position, and this one is absolutely no exception. You know, so it counts down from that all the way to 1. You know, and all of them are ring based. It's a really, really a nice die. This is a die that can rival some of the dies that I've been able to pull from collector sets in the past. It is mine. It is my precious. It belongs to me. Alright, so let's see if there's a way that we can keep that in the shot. Alright. So now, here we have, 2 paper rat sets, and so I believe that these contain the counters in them, right? And so the rest of these are going to be collector's boosters packs, and then at the end of that, we'll just go ahead and we will open up the draft. And we'll open up the draft boosters after that. Alright, so Devin says it looks like amber. It does look a lot like amber. It's just a very, very nice translucent brown. And it also does have just the smallest amount of glitter within it as well. Alright, so let's open up the first collector's boosters. We're going to look at the fanciest cards first. Alright. Let me see. I think it's still easier to take it from the outside. Alright. Okay, so... Okay. Let's see here. This is a full holo card, Elven Farsight, single green sorcery card, scry 3, then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, draw a card. Lembas, as in Lembas bread. You know, a Hobbit's Scooby snack. Abstract artifact, food, 2 colorless. When Lembas enters the field, scry 1, then draw a card. Sacrifice Lembas allows you to gain 3 life. And then when Lembas is put in a graveyard from the battlefield, its owner shuffles it into their library. Alright. Glorious Gale. 2 blue mana instant card. Counter a target creature spell. If it was a legendary spell, then the ring tempts you. The ring tempts you is a mechanic in Lord of the Rings. Effectively, what it does is that every time the ring gets passed between players, then you get to add 1 more very special stat to your side of the field. And I'll say, you're saying that the art is too blurry? Let me see if I can do something about that. Okay, let's... I'll have to take this up at a certain distance, first of all. Let's get it, like, roughly about there. And then let's go ahead and let's try to see if we can white balance this. Alright. Okay, so... Okay, so this was... Okay, Glorious Gale. 2 blue mana, instant card. Counter a target creature spell if it was a legendary spell. They'll ring a bell. Okay, I already read that one. All right. Stalwarts of Osgalarth. 5 white mana human soldier creature card. When it enters the field, the ring taps you. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Stalwarts of Osgalarth. Yep. Let me try something else for the potential blurriness here. Is that I also have some zoom. See, maybe if I zoom it all of the rest of the way out, it might be able to be a little bit more focused. See, that is adjusting the brightness. I also have arrow keys to pan, but that would only work if I was zooming. So, fix that white balance a little bit. At some point in the near future, I'm really just going to have to buy a new webcam. It's nice to have a webcam with some remote abilities, but you know, it really isn't helping me in the visibility department. All right. Faramir, the field commander, 4 white mana, legendary creature, human soldier. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control, then draw a card. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Faramir Field Commander as your ring bearer, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Okay. The Rising of the Day. Enchantment. Creatures you control now have haste. Legendary creatures you control get +1/+0. Okay, so this is an alternate art planes card, and it just contains, you know, just an area of the Middle Earth map that has the Shire in it. Forge New, 3 white mana enchantment card. When it enters the battlefield, return the target equipment card from your graveyard into the battlefield. As long as it's your turn, you can activate equip abilities anytime that you would cast an instant. You can play 0 rather than the equip cost of the first ability you activate during each of your turns. Alright. Planeteer of Orthanc. Planeteer of Orthanc, actually. At the beginning of your end step, put an influence counter on Planeteer of Orthanc and scry 2. Then target opponent may have you draw a card. If that player doesn't, you will mill X cards, where X is the number of influence counters on Palantir of Orthanc, and that player loses life equal to the total mana value of those cards. Lost or Not Captain. So yeah, every card that I had previously looked at were foiled. This one is actually a semi-rare. Okay, human soldier creature with first strike. Whenever Lorgnath Captain or another human enters the battlefield under your control, tap the target creature an opponent controls. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Legolas, Counter of Kills. This is a semi-rare, and it's also an alternate art. 3/4 green and blue mana, legendary creature elf archer with reach. Whenever you kill Scry, if Legolas Counter of Kills is trapped, you may untap it. Do this only once per each turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Legolas. Henethanun, a land card, tap to add a mana of any type that a land you can control can potentially produce. Okay. The Balrog, Durin's Blade, 7 red and black mana legendary creature, Avatar Demon. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each permanent sacrifice this turn. Haste, Durin's Blade can't be blocked except by legendary creatures. When the Balrog dies, destroy a target artifact the creature an opponent controls. Alright. Then, Gimli, Counter of Kills, 4 red mana, Dwarf Warrior creature with Trample. Whenever it dies, deal 1 damage to the creature's controller. Mary, the Esquire of Rohan, Halfling Knight with Haste. When it has first strike as long as it's equipped. Whenever you attack with Mary and another legendary creature, draw a card. And then this is a foil version of the food token. Alright. So, let me try. I'm going to try just one more thing with the camera. I mean, this is probably the most old school way an individual can combat a blurry camera. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to wipe the lens. Alright, so it gives me an opportunity to show you just this lint-free cloth I got during Lord of the Rings Honor Among Thieves party. I'm holding it upside down. So, during the premiere of the film, we were actually just able to get this as a free promo. It's just a map of, I believe it was Baldur's Gate. No, it's actually Icewind Dale. And so it is just this large lint-free cloth. I think you meant D&D, not Lord of the Rings. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I definitely meant D&D. Alright. I just sponged that a little bit. As it certainly couldn't have been that, things are this low res because of how scuzzy that is, but alright. Try to see if I can max out some sharpness. Alright. Brightness, contrast, saturation. Well, that's actually color saturation. That's going to make things look worse. Alright. SCSI, your cam is using SCSI? Yes, it's an awful kind of third party. As a thing, I'm just going to need to replace it. I'm just going to need to spend the coin and buy another Logi. Alright. Okay. Lord of the Rings. Okay, so this is a second set booster. Alright. Okay, so here we have our first example of the Ring Tempts You token card. Alright, so this is actually a perforated card. Is that, the way the ring works is that you effectively just pass around a single ring token to everybody whenever the Ring Tempts You is placed on your... whenever the Ring Tempts You is written on one of the cards. And so this is what happens to you once multiple versions of the ring fall into your possession. Your ring bearer is legendary and can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. Whenever your ring bearer attacks, draw a card and then discard a card. Whenever your ring bearer becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller sacrifices it at the end of combat. And whenever the ring bearer deals combat damage to a player, each opponent loses 1 life. So I'll flip that over. This is the Ring Tempts You rule. If the ring tempts you, you get an emblem named the ring. And if you don't have one, then your emblem gains the next ability. And you choose a creature you control to become or remain your ring bearer. The ring can't tempt you if you don't control a creature. The ring gains its abilities in order from top to bottom. Once it gains an ability, it will hold it for the rest of the game. Each time the ring tempts you, you must choose a creature if you control one. Each player can have only one emblem named the ring and only one ring bearer at a time. And so, in addition to all of this, there are just lots of characters that gain additional special abilities once they're in possession of the ring. And you can already figure out, which ones those might be, if it's Frodo, if it's Aragorn, if it's Smeagol, if it's, characters that have historically, held the ring in the past. If it's Bilbo, because there are a few Bilbo cards in here. All right. So this is another alternate art planes card, same as the other one. Second Breakfast, semi-rare. Up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+1 until the end of the turn, and allows you to gain a food token. Alright. Another Lembas spread card. Actually, these should go over here. Alright. Okay. The Generous Ent. 6 green mana tree folk creature card with reach. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. Or forest cycle, discard this card, search your library for a forest, reveal it, and then return it to your hand. Mushroom Watchdogs. 2 green mana dog creatures, sacrifice a food, put a +1/+1 counter onto the Mushroom Watchdogs. Foray of Orcs. 4 red mana sorcery cards. Amass Orcs 2. So, Amassing Orcs is, I believe, it's exclusively a red ability, but it just allows you to place a single card onto the field called Orc Army, which becomes stronger every single time a card commands it to amass orcs. And as it sounds a lot like Soldier Population, but the main difference is you don't get to have multiple individual orc tokens. There's just one token on the field that is for the Orc Army. And that one just maintains itself as the with the number of +1s that gets put onto it. All right. So March from the Black Gate, 2 black mana enchantment card. When it enters the field, whenever an army you control attacks, amass Orc 1. All right. Gothmog, the Morgul Lieutenant, Human Soldier, legendary creature card. When it enters the battlefield, amass Orcs 1. And then creatures you control have Death Touch. I've already take back what I just said. There appear to be orc cards in black as well. Pippin's Bravery. This is an alternate art card. I'm trying to see. Okay, it's not a foil card. Sacrifice a food. If you do, this creature gets +4/+4 until the end of the turn. Otherwise, that creature gets 2/2 until the end of the turn. All right. Mina's Tirith, legendary land card. A tap creature you control becomes a legendary creature. Tap it to add 1 white mana, or tap 2 to draw a card. Activate only if you've attacked with 2 or more creatures. Alright. Fall of Care Andros, 3 red mana enchantment card. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is dealt with combat damage, amass Orcs X, where the X is that excess damage. So you would basically add 1 point to the orc card for every additional damage that you would do. Okay, and so this is a full foil. This is Smite the Deathless, 2 red mana, instant card. Deals 3 damage to a target creature. That creature loses indestructible until the end of the turn. If that creature would die this turn, then exile it instead. Okay, so try to see if turning on the lamp would actually make it look better. I think it makes it look worse, actually. So let me take this. Maybe we can zoom in just a little bit more. All right. Not a zoom thing. Yeah, probably not. Okay, next pack. It's not a zoom thing, it just won't focus. This is the first time I've been able to pull a pack from the middle. Is there a focal point setting? No, I don't believe it is. Yeah, that would be part of the downside when it comes to this. Okay. Ballistic Boulder token. So, full art card. Artist is Alex Brock. Okay. So, standard island token. Snarling Warg, 4 black, well, it looked better until I tried to lower it. Okay. Snarling Warg, wolf creature card with menace. As long as you control a goblin or an orc, it gets +1/+0. Elephant. 6 red mana elephant creature with trample. When it attacks another target creature you control, it gets +2/+0 and gains trample. Mirkwood Bats. 2 black mana bat creature card with flying. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. Okay. Milkwood Spider. Spider creatures with death touch. Whenever a Milkwood Spider attacks, target legendary creature you control gains death touch until the end of the turn. Okay. Melindor, the Swift Savior. Bird Soldier with flying. Whenever Miss Savior deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature of your own, then return it to the battlefield under your control. Gwaith, the Wind Lord, legendary creature, Bird Noble. This spell costs 2 less to cast as long as you have drawn more than 2 cards this turn. Flying and Vigilance, and other birds we control have Vigilance. Alright. A Stern Scolding. Creature spell with power or toughness of 2 or less. Counter a target creature spell with power or 2 or less. Okay. You cannot pass! Single white mana instant spell card. Destroy a target creature that has blocked or was blocked by a legendary this turn. Okay. Shire Sheriff. Halfling Soldier creature card with Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, you can sacrifice a token. When you do, exile target creature on opponent controls until the Shire Sheriff leaves the battlefield. The Balrog, Durin's Blade, legendary creature, Avatar Demon card. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each permanent sacrifice this turn. Haste. The Balrog, Durin's Blade can't be blocked except by a legendary creature. Oh, well, we've seen this before, but we saw the more full art card version of it. And then Samwise Astarte, South-Hearted, 2 white mana, legendary creature. Halfling Peasant with Flash. When it enters a battlefield, choose up to 1 target permanent card in your graveyard that was there from the battlefield this turn. Return it to your hand, then the ring tempts you. Alright. Open the 3rd pack. Okay. It's another full art card. This one is just of Mount Doom. Drawn by Hristo D. Chukov. Okay. Okay. Alternate art island card this time. The big section of it is of the Belagar Sea. Great Hall of the Citadel, land, tap 2, add a colorless mana, or tap 2 to add mana in any combination of colors. Spend this only to cast legendary spells. Gimli's Axe. 3 red mana equipment artifact card. Equipped creature gets 3/0. As long as it is legendary, it has menace. Or equip 2. And then equip cost of 2. Okay. Gimli's Fury. 2 red mana. Instant card. Target creature gets the 3/2 until the end of the turn. If it's a legendary, it also gains trample until the end of the turn. Erebor Flamesmith. 2 red mana dwarf artificer creature card. Whenever you cast an instant or a sorcery spell, Erebor Flamesmith deals 1 damage to each opponent. Arwen Undumiel. Green and blue mana, elf, noble, legendary creature. Whenever you scry, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, or tap 3 to scry 2. Shire Sheriff, 2 white mana, halfling soldier card with vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice a token. Whenever you do, exile target creature an opponent controls until Shire Sheriff leaves the battlefield. Butterbird the Bree Innkeeper. 4 white and green mana, human, peasant, legendary creature. At the beginning of your end step, if you don't control a food, create a food token. Rosie Cotton on South Lane. White, 3 white mana, halfling, pleasant, legendary creature. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. Whenever you create a token, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control other than Rosie. The Lash of the Balrog. That's a black colorless mana sorcery card. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature or pay for, and then destroy the target creature. Isildur's Fateful Strike. 4 black mana, legendary instant. Discard a target creature. If its controller has more than 4 cards in hand, they exile cards from their hand equal to the difference. Okay. Celeborn the Wise, elf, noble, legendary creature, 4 green mana. Whenever you attack with 2 or more elves, scry 1. Whenever you scry, Celeborn the Wise gets a +1/+1 until end of turn for each card looked at while scrying this way. And that one was a full foil card. And the Sword of War piece, artifact equipment card. An equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and from white. Whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, Sword of War and phase deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand, and you gain 1 life for each card in your hand. Alright. This is pack number 4. Alright. See, another full art card. I believe that this one is of Sauron. By Kieran Yanner. Alright, so. Okay, so foil, mountain, basic land. The Snarling Warg. Well, we've seen the Snarling Warg. And the Oliphant. And the Mirkwood Spider. Mirkwood Bats. The 4 black mana creature bat with flying. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent will lose 1 life. Okay. Lost 2 Legends. Put a target non-land historic permanent into its owner's library, 4th from the top. Grima Wartongue, human advisor, legendary creature. Your opponents can't gain life. Tap to sacrifice another creature. Target creature loses 1 life. If the sacrificed creature was a legendary, then a Mass Orcs 2. Yorith of the Healing House. 3 blue mana, legendary creature, human cleric. Tap to untap another target permanent, or untap 2 other target legendary creatures. Alright. The Knights of Dol Amroth. 4 blue mana, human knight creature tokens. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on the Knights of Dol Amroth. Okay. Elrond, Lord of Rivendell, legendary creature, elf noble. Whenever it or another creature enters the battlefield, scry 1. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, the ring tempts you. Scroll of Isildur. This is a saga card. Saga Stage 1, gain control of up to 1 target artifact for as long as you control the Scroll of Isildur, and then the ring tempts you. Level 2, tap up to 2 target creatures, then put a stun counter on each of them. Then 3, draw a card for each tapped creature target opponent controls. And it doesn't have a reverse side, so it really is just the 3 segments of the saga. Alright. Deceive the Messenger. Blue, a single blue instant spell card. Target creature gets 3/1 until end of turn, and then the Mass Orcs 1. And this one is also a full foil card. And so then this is a token. This is the Orc Army token card. So effectively, it starts out at 0/0, and then it will gain 1 for each time that a card will tell you the number of orcs that you will amass. Alright. Okay, 5th pack. Alright, so this is the Gandalf the White art card. Artist is Alexander Mokov. Okay. Mountain, basic land card. Hobbit Sting, 2 white mana instant spell card. Deals X damage to the target creature, where X is the number of creatures you control plus the number of foods you control. Pippin's Bravery, single green mana instant card. Sacrifice a food. If you do, target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Otherwise, that creature will get +2/+2. Okay. Many Parting, single green mana sorcery card. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle, and then create a food token. Alright. Second Breakfast, 2 white mana instant. Okay, we've seen that one before. Okay, this is another saga card. Oath of the Grey Host. 2 black mana. Well, actually, 4 black mana. Level 1, you and your target opponent each create a food token. Level 2, each opponent loses 3 life, create a treasure token. Or 3, create 3 tapped 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. Alright. Bill, Fernie, Bree, Swindler, 2 blue mana legendary creature, human rogue. Whenever it becomes blocked, choose 1, create a treasure token, or target opponent gains control of a target house you control. Target horse you control. If they do, remove Bill, Fernie from combat and create 3 treasure tokens. Okay. Bill the Pony, 4 white mana legendary creature, horse. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 food tokens. Sacrifice a food until the end of the turn. Target creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Alright. Slew the Conies. This is a 3 green mana instant spell card. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. And then create a food token. Knights of Dol Amroth. 4 blue mana creature, human knight. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on the Knights of Dol Amroth. Okay. The Binds of Moria, legendary land card. Enters the battlefield tapped. Tap to add red. Tap 5 to exile these cards from your graveyard and create 2 treasure tokens. Gandalf Section. This is a 3 red and blue sorcery. It deals X damage to a target creature, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead, and this is a full foil card. And so this is nothing. This is just a promo card. I have to assume there was just one straight up promo card in this set. All right. All right. So this is an art of, I believe it's Bilbo holding the One Ring wrapped in paper. And the artist is Randy Gallegos. Alright. Mountain, alternate art card. This one is effectively is the map of the Misty Mountain. Another Hobbit Sting, another Pippin's Bravery, another Many Partings, another Second Breakfast, another Lembas, Gorbag of Minas Morgul, 2 black mana legendary creature, orc soldier. Whenever a goblin or orc you control deals combat damage to a player. You may sacrifice it. When you do, choose one. You can draw a card or create a treasure token. Saruman's Trickery, 3 blue mana instant. Counter a target spell, and then amass Orcs 1. Saruman the White, 5 blue mana legendary creature, Avatar Wizard. Ward 2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, amass Orcs 2. Alright. Foray of Orcs, 4 red mana sorcery card. Amass Orcs 2. When you do, Foray of Orcs deals X damage to a target creature an opponent controls, where X is the amassed army's power. Boromir, Prince of Erthilin, legendary creature, human noble, 2 white and blue mana. At the beginning of your end step, choose an opponent. At the beginning of that player's next end step, draw a card. If they didn't attack you that turn, otherwise create 3/1/1 human soldier creature tokens. Okay. This is another second breakfast, but this one is a full foil. And then this is a food token. Alright. Okay. Here's another art card. This one is of... I believe that was Aragorn on his horse. And this is... No, it's actually Mary Esquire of Rohan by Dominic Mayer. Okay. Another special art land. Sam's Desperate Rescue. 1 black mana sorcery card. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, and then the ring tempts you. Now for Wrath, now for Ruin. 4 white mana sorcery card. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. They gain Vigilance until the end of the turn, and then the ring tempts you. Breaking of the Fellowship. 2 red mana sorcery card. Target a creature an opponent controls. Deals damage equal to its power to another target creature that players controls, and the ring tempts you. Glorious Gale, 2 blue mana instant card. Counter a target creature spell. If it was a legendary spell, the ring will tempt you. Strider, Ranger of the North, which, as we all know, was Aragorn in disguise. 2 red and green mana legendary creature, Human Ranger, with Landfall. Whenever a land enters a battlefield under your control, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Then if that creature has power 4 or greater, it gains first strike until the end of the turn. Eowyn, Lady of Rohan, 3 white mana human noble legendary creature. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature gains your choice of first strike or vigilance until the end of the turn. If that creature is equipped, it gains first strike and vigilance until end of turn instead. Equip abilities you activate cost 1 less to activate. A Reprieve, 2 white mana instant spell card. Return a target spell to its owner's hand and draw a card. Faramir, Field Commander, 4 white mana human soldier legendary creature. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Faramir as your ring bearer, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature. I think we've actually seen that one before. The Lash of the Balrog. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Alright. Sorcery. 1 black mana sorcery card. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature or pay 4 mana, and then destroy the target creature. Shadow of the Enemy. 6 black mana sorcery card. Exile all creature cards from a target player's graveyard. You can cast spells from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled. And mana of any type can be spent to cast them. Alright. And then Gloin the Dwarf Emissary. This is a full foil card. Dwarf Advisor. Whenever you cast a historic spell, create a treasure token. And then then tap to sacrifice a treasure and then go to target creature. Alright. And then this is a food token. Alright. So what do we have left? We have 1, 2 white mana cards. Alright, so this is the last set. This is the last set booster. So after we open this, then we're going to open the 1 or 2 draft boosters, then we can look at the special cards. All right. Okay, so this seems to be, just a massive battle fray right here. Thrill of Possibility by Alexander Garrick. All right. Swamp. Another Lembas. Another Generous Ent. Mushroom Watchdogs. Okay, this is different from the other guard dog card that we had. 2 green mana dog creature card. Sacrifice a food, put a +1/+1 counter on Mushroom Watchdogs. It gains vigilance until the end of the turn, and then activate only as a sorcery. Snarling Warg. 4 black mana wolf creature token with menace. As long as you control a goblin or an orc, Snarling Warg gets +1/+0. Oh, you already had Mushroom Watchdogs? Okay, well, that's my mistake. Okay, so this is Frodo, a simple white and green mana halfling scout legendary creature. Whenever Frodo is in or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, the ring tempts you. As long as Frodo is your ring bearer, it must be blocked if able. Samwise the Stout-Hearted. Yeah, we've seen that one too. Tale of Turnviel. No, so this is a saga card. Level 1, target creature you control gains indestructible for as long as you control. The Tale of Tinoviel. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Level 3, up to 2 target creatures you control each gain lifelink until the end of the turn. Okay. Glyphs of Strands, 4 green mana enchantment aura card with flash. Enchant a creature. When Gift of Shards enters the battlefield, scry 2, and then enchanted creature gets +3/+3. Okay. A Nasty End, 2 black mana instant spell card. At an additional cost to cast this, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. If the sacrificed creature was a legendary, draw 3 cards instead. War of the Last Alliance, 4 white mana saga card. On levels 1 and 2, search your library for a legendary creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And then on level 3, creatures you control gain double strike until the end of turn, and the ring tempts you. This is You Cannot Pass, but this one is a foil. And then Far Traveler, 3 white mana, legendary enchantment, background. Commander creatures you own have, at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target tapped creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Okay, so that is all of the set boosters. Now we're just going to open the regular draft boosters. All right. Okay. This one has another Orc Army token. Here's another mountain. Okay. Foils, Soldier of the Grey Host. I think we've seen this one. Flash flying, and then when it enters the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+0 to the end of the turn. Fall of Gil-galad, 2 green mana. Saga card. Level 1, you get to scry 2. Level 2, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creatures you control. And on level 3, until the end of turn, target creature you control gains, but this creature dies, draw 2 cards. Then that creature fights up to 1 other target creature. Okay. Prince Imril the Fair, white and blue legendary creature, human noble. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Entdrop Basin, 2 colorless mana artifact card. Tap X amount and to put +1/+1 counter on target creature with a power of X. Activate only as a sorcery. Eneth of the Healing House, we've seen that one before. Fire of Orthane. Creatures without flying cannot block this turn. Okay. Lorien revealed 4 blue mana sorcery card, draw 3 cards, and island cycling. Birthday Escape, draw a card and the ring tempts you. Nimble Hobbit, 2 white mana halfling peasant creature card. Whenever attack, sacrifice a food or play 3. When you do, tap target creature an opponent controls. A Shire Scarecrow, 2 colorless mana, Scarecrow artifact creature with Defender. Add 1 mana of any color, activate only as a turn. Captain of Umbard, human pirate creature card. Tap 1 to draw a card, then discard a card. The Troll of Cousin Dumb, 6 black mana troll creature card. Can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. Or Swamp Cycling of 1. Many Partings, and Mordor Muster, 2 black mana sorcery card. Draw a card and then lose 1 life. Amass Orcs 1. Alright. So this is the last booster. Alright. Okay, the ring token card. The forest card. Last March of the Ents. Is a 6... Well, it's an 8 green mana sorcery. This spell can't be countered. Draw cards equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Then put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Alright, so... Faramir, the Field Commander, 4 white mana legendary creature human soldier card. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Faramir as your ring bearer, place a 1... Oh, actually, we've seen it. It's just an alt art. Okay. Elrond, Lord of Rivendell, Elf Noble. When another creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. If this is the second time this ability has resolved and the ring tempts you. Rise of the Witch King, 4 green and black mana sorcery card. Each player sacrifices a creature. If you sacrifice a creature this way, you can return another permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Roram Lancer, single red mana human knight creature card with menace. When Rothram Lancer dies, the ring tempts you. Lorien revealed. Draw 3 cards. Swamp Cycling 1. Gimli's Fury. 2 red mana. Oh yeah, we've seen that one before. That's a spell card in red. Okay, Soldier of the Grey Horse. 4 white mana Spirit Soldier creature card with flash and flying. When it enters the field, target creatures get +2/+0. Birthday Escape. Second Breakfast. Revive the Shire, 2 green mana sorcery card. Return a target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand, and create a food token. Isolation at Orthain, 4 blue mana instant card. Put a target creature into its owner's library second from the top. Shower of Arrows, 2 green mana instant spell card. Destroy a target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying, and scry 1. And finally, the Lash of the Balrog, a single black mana sorcery. As additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature or pay for, and then destroy the target creature. Alright. So now we're going to go for the paper sets. Alright, so this should contain all of the special cards and also all of the bonus mana. Okay. Let me take a half a second to look at the back card here. This one just has an instructional card in it. So I'm assuming this is just a mana pile. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 plains cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 island cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 swamp cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 mountain cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 forest cards. Alright. Yeah, free mana. And all of it is, mana with art from the set, so I appreciate that as well. Alright. Okay, so this is the final pack, and this is a special pack. Okay. So, first thing, Frodo Sauron's Bane, full foil alternate art card. This is a single mana halfling citizen legendary creature. If Frodo Sauron's Blade is a citizen, it becomes a halfling scout with base power and toughness of 2 or 3, and lifelink. If you tap 3 black mana, if Frodo's a scout, it becomes a halfling rogue with whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game if the ring has tempted you 4 or more times this game. Otherwise, the ring will tempt you. So basically, it will help to tempt the ring 4 times, and if you actually manage to tempt the ring 4 times with Frodo, then you win the game. Alright. Samwise the Stout-Hearted. We've seen this before, but this is also, the 2 white mana halfling peasant, all foil and alternate art card. Okay. Gollum, Patient Plotter, 2 black mana halfling horror legendary creature. When it leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Or tap to sacrifice a creature or return Gollum from your graveyard to your hand, activated only as a sorcery. So the One Ring legendary artifact. So this is, just kind of the standard version of the One Ring. Okay, this one is an alternate art card, full foil, and 4 colorless mana. It has indestructible. When the One Ring enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burden counter on the One Ring. Or tap to put a burden counter on the One Ring, then draw a card for each burden counter on the One Ring. Okay, and so these are foil mana cards. Foil Plains, Foil Islands, Foil Swamps, Foil Mountains, and Foil Forests. And that is all she wrote. So, where are we at right here? Just barely 214. I mean, so we didn't open up nearly as many cards as we have in previous installments. But, it's, as I said, this has been an extremely popular set. And, this was probably as many new cards as I could have possibly gotten. As many new cards as I could have possibly received. But, we had some fun. We looked at that. We looked at the Weiss Schwartz set of Avatar The Last Airbender. And we also managed to look at some of the One Piece cards. So I'm very happy with the set. I think the set, is worth its weight in gold, especially when it comes from the full legendary sets to the front all the way to the set boosters that are in the back. So I'm looking forward to building some new stuff with it. And, anything that I don't build is, of course, going to go into my album, that I might be able to procure even more cards in trade-ins. All of which, I will be conducting at All Seas Collectibles. Once again, at the request of the people who allowed me to do this plug, be sure to check out All Seas Collectibles on Facebook. Facebook.com Seas Collectible. Facebook.com All Seas Collectibles. So, thank you everybody, and thank you everybody for tuning into the stream. It is due to All Seas Collectibles that I can even do Cardcatter Brainy streams, because it's where I've purchased, just a great majority of the cards that I've been able to do. And also, don't forget about our other promotions, Stream Loots. Subscribe to the channel to buy special Brainy the RPG Cat trading cards that you can redeem for special effects during these streams. That's at streamloots.com/Brainy the RPG Cat. W, the affordable and flavorful energy drink powder. Follow the link below or use the code BrainySentMe for 10% off your online order. Discord. Feel free to join our Discord page. We're going to be doing a watch party this coming Thursday. We're going to be watching the entirety of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie Rehydrated. So that should definitely be interesting. And finally, I would be remiss not to bring up our current charity support for the Trevor Project. Consider giving a donation for the Trevor Project to help provide crisis and psychological assistance for youth in the LGBTQ community. Alrighty, folks. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're watching us on Twitch, we are going to be doing a raid now. Let's see. Who would I like to visit? Additional thing. And the Alpaca. Grimbo Kills is on. Yusha-kun playing Street Fighter 6. Abigail Croc playing Noita. Okay, so we're going to go over to Merry Mermaid. Right now they are playing Learn Japanese to Save Your Life, which is, I believe is a game in RPG Maker. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say hello to them. And so we're going to be back tomorrow evening. I think we have Pokemon Scarlet on the agenda. And that's probably going to be the last major Pokemon Scarlet stream until the DLC comes out. Alrighty, folks. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I remain Brainy the RPG Cat. Remember, B-R-A-N-Y means smart. Nothing's too hard if you use your head. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Have a good night, everybody, and thank you very much for watching.